Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Under Further Review with me, Noel Granada. In these segments, I'll be looking at each team going into the 2013 season. I'll be talking about last season, the offseason, favorite picks from the draft, player positions, and can they make the playoffs. Today on my board, I have the San Francisco 49ers from the NFC West Division and Division champs and Super Bowl losers of last year. Let's quickly look at what happened last year anyways. Went 13-5 with one tie, and that was against the Rams. They made the playoffs and made it all the way to the Super Bowl, which they lost. They went from Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick, who turned out to be even better for the 49ers. The rushing offense was just killing teams all season with Gore and Kaepernick, and they finished ranked 11th on offense and 3rd on defense. Not bad. The offseason. I mean, where do I even start? Probably the only thing that I really need to say about this team is it just looks they look stronger than last year. You know, their draft was solid. The coaching staff and players solid, and they look to be the clear favorites again to go back to the NFC, title game and make another trip to the Super Bowl. But the injuries and a few key guys have left the team. So let's start out with Michael Crabtree, who was an absolute breakout, just had an amazing season last year. He broke out definitely last year. Well, now he's gone due to a torn Achilles, which just happened about 3 months ago. There is a possibility he could be back, but he should take as much time as he needs to recover healthy. So when that happened, the 49ers went and grabbed Anquan Bolden from the Super Bowl champ, the Ravens, and I thought this was a very, very good and smart pickup for them, as Bolden shows he can still show up and has a lot left in the tank and can help on key plays consistently. So they also picked up Nnamdi Asomugha. I think got released. Craig Dahl, Phil Dawson, and Glenn Dorsey. Not bad pickups at all. However, they did lose safety Deshaun Golston, and who was their best safety, and nose tackle Isaac Sefuaga, Delaney Walker, and playmaker Ted Ginn. Those do hurt a bit, but I see nothing but a team that is just getting stronger going into the 2013 season. My favorite picks from the draft. Well, the 49ers had a whopping 11 picks and definitely got a lot of talent from a lot of different areas this year. So my picks go to first rounder Eric Reed from Louisiana State and 4th round pick Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina. Reed will be coming in to replace the departed Deshaun Golston. He's a big tackling machine and seems to be a very, very heavy hitter. He's also got some good quickness to him too, so I thought Reed was a no-brainer for the 49ers. Lattimore, on the other hand, has a lot of upside to him, as he had one of the nastiest looking leg injuries I saw in college football before. I was just grossed out. That was disgusting. But he looks to get healthy. He may not be ready for the season still, but the guy could be the next best running back for San Francisco if they decide to part ways eventually with Frank Gore in the future. Player positions. Quarterback. Alex Smith is gone, and Colin Kaepernick is in. So Kaepernick and company swept the football nation and myself as I watched a team that looked ready to go forward with Alex Smith to the running pistol and read option ability of Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick ran for 5 touchdowns along with 10 touchdowns passing. The only thing that I'm intrigued to see about Kaepernick is if he can play this breed of new age quarterback style the whole season. As we saw with RG3, it only takes one big hit to jack somebody up the way, and you have a nagging injury with you the whole way, and especially it's very, very common for scrambling quarterbacks like Kaepernick. So that's a possibility, but I don't see Kaepernick stopping, as he has been training since 1 week after the Super Bowl loss to Baltimore. So he might be ready to go and maybe putting his body through a train wreck here, but he can probably last. Backups this year will be Colt McCoy, and they just got released Scott Tolson. Running backs. Frank Gore surprised me as he played the last season at full health, and I expect him to do the same this year. The 49ers really have the best 1-2 punch in the league, as it's not just the running backs, it's the fact that Kaepernick has some legs, and if the defense starts cheating on the outside to get Kaepernick, the bread and butter is the 49ers going to Gore up the middle. I mean, it's just a simple handoff, and it just crushes defenses. It crushed the Packers defense, trust me. Gore ran for 1,214 yards and 8 touchdowns, and on an average of 4.7 a touch. Behind him, they have some really nice talent in Michael James and Kendall Hunter, but I will have my eye on Marcus Lattimore, for he could be the future of San Francisco. Wide receivers. I think this is the biggest concern here for this offense, for the 49ers going into the season. They won't have their big playmaker in Michael Crabtree for pretty much the whole season, and they lost Mario Manningham late last year with an ACL, and also Kyle Williams. So, I mean, the go-to guy obviously is Anquan Bolden, obviously. So I'm eager to see if the chemistry will happen along with the young guys who will need to help step up for Crabtree this year, and Williams and Manningham, and make their way back slowly this season, before that. So Vernon Davis didn't have a really great statistical year, but he gets his work done and even got hot in the late postseason. So he will be fine. He also has a Vance McDonald to play the other tight end with him. He placed Delaney Walker, who left in free agency. And just recently, they also traded A.J. Jenkins to Kansas City for John Baldwin. I don't know how that'll work out, but we'll see. All in all, we will just watch what happens. Offensive line. Alright, well, all I'm going to say is this. The 49ers have absolutely the best offensive line in the league, period. They've just dominated the past couple of seasons with the run and pass blocking. So, what else is there other to say than I expect the same thing for this year? Offensive line. Well, you don't have to worry if Justin Smith doesn't stay healthy this year, because the 49ers drafted 2 studs in Cornelius Carradine and Quentin McDowell. Smith is getting old, obviously, but he is still really productive if he stays healthy on the field. Ray McDonald is also solid at the other end, and Glenn Dorsey will be the guy to replace Isaac Sabuaga at nose tackle. I think a steady rotation of these guys are pretty deadly, so nothing but positives I see here. Linebackers. This linebacking unit is pretty scary, if you ask me. So you have 2 massive tacklers, Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and then the outside there's Ahmad Brooks with Aldon Smith. Now the problem here, though, is the depth that these guys have been getting hit with injuries. So backup roles are important just as much as the starters this year. But again, nothing but positives here. Secondary. Well, secondary was awesome last year, as they ranked 4th in the league in pass defense. That might change, though, a little with the departure of Deshaun Goldston. I like the pickups in Craig Dahl and Eric Reed, the rookie, but I don't know, it'll still be hard to replace Goldston's production on the field. Dante Whitner I like a lot because he's very smart and can hit like a mother trucker. Carlos Rogers and Terrell Brown look to be starting at the corners, obviously, but we will see as the depth is very deep here, and I don't know who's been cut so far, but they have a lot of depth here at defensive backs this year, so I think they will have no trouble finding guys in the right places playing in the secondary at all. So lots of good talent here for the 49ers. Special teams. Well, Akers has gone after an awful season, and they bring in Phil Dawson from the Browns, which should really help. I mean, he should be solid for the 49ers. Andy Lee will be due to the punting duties, and now comes a big question. Who will be the next playmaker, for the return game? Ginn left for the Carolina Panthers here, so the talent pool here is deep, but I hope to see a bright new star come out of here from San Francisco. Can they make the playoffs? Let's see. They've been to the NFC title game 2 times in a row. Yeah, I think they can. And very easily, and here's why. First of all, obviously, the NFC title games, that's very hard to do. And as far as I'm concerned, this is still a team of the same people. So that helps. They have all their starters back with a huge pool of talented players waiting for a chance to help this team. I mean, the only thing I would be concerned about is, will Kaepernick be able to play at full strength all season the way he plays as the new age quarterback, and get out of the pocket, or survive these tackles that he's probably going to have to take on, and lead his team to maybe another Super Bowl this year. Remember, he came into play at week 10 with a fresh pair of legs and a fresh body. So he's got a cannon for an arm that was just ready to go also. So this season he's going to just have to add another 9 weeks. And now teams have some tape on this dude. I mean, I know my Packers are ready for this week. So we're ready for him. So at the end of the season, I'm just looking to see if they can make that run with him playing a full season. If Kaepernick goes down, then I don't think they're really going to look great with Colt McCoy back there, because they just do not fit the qualities that Kaepernick helps this team. Kaepernick is just such a threat, so they need him. They really, really need him to stay healthy. But all in all, I just can't see this team missing the playoffs. They do have a tough division, as they have to play the Seahawks and the Rams twice, but this team is too good to miss. Now, do I see them going back to the Super Bowl this year? Honestly, not really. I honestly do not see them going back to the Super Bowl this year. My reason is that they've just had a lot of missed opportunities. And I don't view this team really as a Patriots dynasty where they somehow always keep making it to the AFC Championship and then they make it to the Super Bowl, and then, I just don't see that. I mean, they just seem to let it slip through their fingers, and I don't know yet, but I think this will be an upset in the playoffs for them this year. So I applaud the fact that they were able to regroup from the season before in 2011 title game against the Giants to reach the Super Bowl, but I just think in some way the motor is just starting to get a little overheated, and they will really need to find some of that extra fuel going into the season as a Super Bowl favorite. And with that, my football fans, ends my segment on the San Francisco 49ers. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my page and leave any comments in the boxes below. I know you guys don't write any comments. The next team I will be taking on is the Seattle Seahawks. Thanks for watching, and see you later, football fans.